had a couple of TV appearances. Rachel from the Tweeters.
Oh, yeah?
She wears hers all the time.
Brilliant.
I managed to get in there really early with her.
Did she have that before the Traders?
No. When she was
Since?
still on the Tweeters, I messaged her because there was a moment in the show where she started to talk about a bracelet.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on tight, everybody. It's going to be an Ivy and Gold bracelet, but it wasn't. And then I messaged her and said I was so disappointed that
It wasn't?
it wasn't an Ivy
Yeah.
and Gold bracelet, so can I send you one? And she did say at the time, everything's really tight with it being a BBC programme and promotion and stuff at the minute. But I was like, I'll just send it anyway and you can wear it. I don't mind if you don't go on and promote it. But she wears it all the time. And then she did do a story after she finished the Traders, and then every time she wears it in a picture, I just share it.
Brilliant, absolutely. Yeah, that's class. Very good. We good? Are we recording?
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Were we recording there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good because I like that. I try and do. I don't want to keep saying this at the start of every.
I just
pod, but
assumed
try and
that you
keep it
were
natural.
recording anyway. So
Yeah. Just keep it natural as possible. Okay, you good? Anything?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, it's all good. You're in safe hands. Decaf coffees, waters.
Go and decaf coffee.
all-
Yeah.
we're
No,
all
I
calm.
am. I honestly, please don't be surprised if I start crying because I am
That's fine.
super emotional all the time, and I'm a very open. I'm quite open with being vulnerable about things and stuff.
I think that's a
So
lovely way
don't
to be.
be like, oh no, she's crying. I made her cry.
No, okay.
It'll be great if I don't cry, but I might.
But if you do, it's okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Erinn, thank you very much for coming down. It's lovely
Thank you
to
very
have you
much
here.
for having me.
If anybody doesn't know your lovely brand, Ivy and Gold, tell us a little bit about the background.
So the background story, how it all got started,
Yeah,
or just what it is?
What it is. Let's start with what it is.
So what it is it's a personalised bracelet brand. At its core, we do other products. We do products that aren't personalised, and we do necklaces and rings and just general sort of pieces of jewellery. But our hero product is personalised bracelets, and that's how it all got started. Everything else has kind of come off the back of that. So yeah, how it got started.
And you find that with
yeah.
a product-led business that you probably start with an item
product.
and then it's quickly you add to the portfolio. I remember I had a craft beer brand in 2015, I think it was, God, so many years ago now. But we launched like one beer, it was a golden ale. And then so quickly it was like, oh, do you have any others? Like what else is in the portfolio?
When we started doing the personalised bracelets, you could only get gold beads and you could only get black letters.
Yeah.
So it was just basically the bracelet I wanted. And I wanted to make for myself. I was like, you can all have one of these.
I
too
love that
if you
though.
want one.
I've heard that story so often where it's founders are creating something that they want, or there's a gap in the market and it's clothes that they like the fit of, or bracelets that they wanted a certain colorway in, and then that's how it sort of stems from there. If you're going to do it, it might as well be something that you're interested in.
Yeah, and something I'm still wearing daily 6 years later. Still happy to go out and wear it. You know, it's not a trend-led thing at all.
Yeah,
so
timeless. And was there a background in jewellery or anything, or was it just like an interest? I'd read somewhere you'd described as a therapeutic outlet.
Yeah, so there was no background in jewellery. I was in the BBC. I was just telling these guys in digital journalism. So I would have done find the story, go out, interview the person, film it all myself, do the sound, come back, edit it, write the piece, put it up, do the socials.
Got to get you to do everything there.
Yeah, the whole thing. Went in just as a writer on the website to begin with, and I loved my job, really loved it, and it's the job that I always wanted. I couldn't have done better for myself, in my opinion.
Had you studied journalism or anything? Sorry,
politics. So I knew I wanted to go into journalism, but had been advised to do something else as a degree. So I did politics, and then I did a kind of postgraduate thing with the NCTJ in Newcastle, and worked there for a bit, and then came back home and was told, don't go back to Northern Ireland, there's no way you'll get a job. And just did a bit of freelancing here and there with the Beltel and Sunday Life and stuff, and then got into the BBC amazingly, and then did really well, loved it. Left on my maternity leave in August 2019 to have Ivy in September 2019. Had a big sort of lunch with all my co-workers, was like, see you in 9 months. Never went back.
World changed.
World changed, basically. Yeah.
In many ways.
In many ways, yeah. And it's difficult for me to like break those things up. So becoming a mum, having the business, leaving the BBC, it all happened at the same time. So it's difficult for me to even know how I felt about each individual thing, because it just, my life just changed. And then like my daughter's diagnosis and everything all came into it too. So
when you look back, does it feel like a bit of a blur? Is it kind of hard to assess that period of time because so many things happened? It
just feels like I'm naturally the kind of person that just, when something comes up, I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to find a way to work it out and solve a problem. And I just feel like I just went into survival mode, and what can I do to make this work?
So what was the kind of order of events? Was it did you leave your job? Were you made like
no? So while I was on maternity leave, started making the bracelets.
Okay.
So
and that was just a hobby, or just something
just
you
a
enjoyed?
hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, I was selling them.
Brilliant.
I wasn't just going to give
not
them
just
away
making
for free.
loads of bracelets.
I made them for myself for free, but yeah, anyone else that wanted one was buying one.
Yeah.
Because the gold filled beads are expensive. You know, it's not a cheap product. So basically went off maternity leave, had Ivy. 2 weeks later, she got her diagnosis, which I can circle back a bit to later. Then it must have been a good few months, maybe 4 months or so, before I, for some reason, decided I was going to make this bracelet with her name on it. So I was following someone in America who was sort of at a similar stage of life to me, and she'd got something similar in America. There are loads of brands in America that sell the same product, essentially. And I went on Etsy, went on Google, went anywhere I could find to get myself one, and the only place I could get one was America. Loads of brands in America, not a single seller. And I thought, I don't want to pay potentially high import fees, and it just put me off. And I thought, maybe I could just get these beads and make it myself. I don't know why I thought that. I genuinely have no idea why I thought that.
I bet you're glad you did.
Like lightning strike moment.
Yeah.
And so I got one. I got the stuff, watched some YouTube videos. I think I was kind of bored in maternity leave. I had been used to just, you know, school and then university and then being in journalism, and then, you know, being a mum is hard, really hard work. But I always say it's kind of boring if you're just doing the same thing all the time, which is what having a small baby is like.
Yeah. Routine.
So I think I just was like, oh, what else can I do? So, and also with Ivy's diagnosis and stuff, I was suffering quite a lot with anxiety and things like that. So I made my own, and then my friends wanted one, and then I started making them for other people. And then I was very lucky with the contacts and friends and people I had in my circle at the time who were influential and helpful and had skills that helped me get off the ground, basically. So then, sorry, your question about work. So I contacted my employer, BBC, at the end of my maternity leave and said, I think with Ivy and her cystic fibrosis, I'm going to need to be off because still COVID and everything. I don't think I can come back. And my boss at the time, who is amazing, and I have no doubt the BBC would have been brilliant if I had decided I did want to go back. But they gave me a year's career break to start with. And then I took that and just took it as, okay, let's just see if I can make this work, basically.
That's amazing. I imagine there's lots of positions where you maybe, you know, you wouldn't have got the support that you needed, or, you know, so that's great to hear that story, you know, to immediately take that pressure off and be like, well, what is this going to look like? And first and foremost, what, you know, certainly I'm led by is, you know, it's family first. That's more important than anything. So that therapeutic outlet of making these bits of jewellery, was it at that stage then with work that you felt like I could make a business out of this, a career that I could
sustain? It
sustain?
Straight away was a business.
It just was,
Straight away.
Yeah. And did you have entrepreneurial background, or would you have ever thought like, God, I'd love to run my own business someday?
I think I thought I hate commuting to Belfast. That was my number one thing. I honestly actually used to cry sometimes on the traffic on the way back to Ballymena coming from Belfast. I hated it, and I thought if I could open a floristry business or something, that would be amazing. But I think I always assumed it was a pipe dream and it wouldn't ever happen.
So it feels like it would have been something quite creative.
Yeah. But it wasn't ever entrepreneurial or business mindset. And my husband was very I think he'd always kind of had a dream of owning his own business.
Right.
So he was very encouraging of me doing it.
Okay.
And he was like, just give it a go, see how it goes. He was able to make me a website and everything right from the start. So
in the tech field?
He is, yeah.
Very handy.
It is, yeah.
He can go after that side of things for you?
Yeah, when I can convince him to.
And is he involved in the business at all now? No, keep it separate. And with yourself then, like as we look at the business now, do you have any employees? Like what would it sort of look like?
5,
let's not forget anybody.
6 employees, I think. It's changing at the minute because we just opened a second place.
Yeah.
So 6 employees at the minute. And that's just crazy to me. Like I really genuinely, when I started doing IV and gold, I was just trying to get through what was a hard time of my life, and I just wanted to make enough money to get by. I feel like really putting Ivy's treatments and everything that was required to look after her first at that time, I could have just been facing being on benefits essentially. And I knew that I wanted to try to do something else. But it was all to be with her and to be available to her. And I'm not trying to be the next Argento or whatever. I just have always been trying to have a business and a job that I've created for myself that works for me and my family. And now I can do that for 6 other people, which is insane. They all work part-time. I don't want to overstate this. It's not like a marketing person and everything. It's, it's just.
But it's still amazing to be able to do that and provide livelihood to people.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're great jobs. Like I really do believe that. Like Ruth messaged me this morning and her childcare has fallen through and she's just sitting in work with her 4-year-old Penelope, and that's like super important to me. Obviously I don't want them to do that all the time and no one takes the Mickey, but
it's volunteer, it's cool.
But it's nice to be able to have that option.
Definitely. And it's like when you're the boss as such, you can kind of create the environment, and again, much like the product, you want to create an environment that you would want to be a part of.
And it pays off because everyone's so supportive of each other. You get in the team what you put in, and everyone puts in loads, and we're there for each other, genuinely really have each other's backs, and if someone needs help, we'll help them, and we know that it will come back round to us.
Were they friends before of yours or anything?
No,
or was it, how did you
a
find
couple
the
of them are people
process?
who I have known, but none of them were close friends. A couple I didn't know at all. 3 I didn't know at all. One's just another mum from Ivy's class. My first employee was Alice, who is still with us now and is literally I could not do it without her. Like, she's incredible. They're all incredible, but Alice in particular she just keeps me, I don't know, organised.
That's good. Here, you need a chief of staff or someone right beside you.
Yeah, right-hand woman. She's amazing.
Keep you steady. Well, it's great to have that
and
environment.
And taking her on was extremely, I just felt like I'm very risk averse as well.
Yeah.
Very, very risk averse person.
That thing is a massive step though, like hiring the first sort of full-time employee as a small business.
Yeah. Well, she's not full-time.
Employee in general.
Employing someone, but never looked back. Or have never looked back. Like, best thing I've ever done.
If you did look back, is there any advice you'd sort of give your younger business version of yourself?
No, I wish I could have skipped some of it, but I think it was important to go through that stuff. Like, I really nearly made myself sick in the first year. Just worked so hard on my own, doing everything myself and, handwriting every envelope. I just didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know nothing. I was just selling on Instagram, handwriting every envelope, making every bracelet myself, taking it to the post office, doing all the email communication with customers back and forth, and it's just a lot. And I was just doing it, getting up really early before Ivy was awake or staying up late after she was in bed. And not getting very much sleep, but I was obsessed with it because I loved it. And I'm so glad that I did all that. But I wish if I could have skipped that bit, great, but you can't.
No, I totally agree. I think you have to live it and experience it, and it makes you a better rounded version of yourself.
And I've done every job, you know.
So then when you bring on staff, it's like, well, I've been there, I know what to do there, and I can sort of guide you in that position as much as is possible.
Yeah.
I think you touched on a really interesting point though as well, and I find this certainly across my businesses and my career, that certainly a younger version of myself, and still to a point today, I feel like I should know everything, or you're expected to know everything. And all of a sudden this, like you said it there, like I know what I don't know. And when that sort of hits with you, it's like, yeah, I don't know everything about taxes or accounting or bookkeeping, or, you know, my thing is the creative element or the marketing or the PR and how we're going to grow this. But it's almost, you're maybe led to believe that you should know everything, but nobody teaches you. You have to like go through it. And then if you can bring on people that are strong in marketing, or the best thing I ever did was 18 months ago get a bookkeeper, and she's absolutely amazing. Like, she just takes so much stress off my plate because she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I think it's really, I come across a lot of people, I think, who are reluctant to either upskill themselves or invest in other people's skills. And I think that's just, it will hurt you, really. If I had clung on so tightly, I don't think I would be where I am now, or where Ivy and Gold is now. And
are you a bit of a control freak? I think we all are to an extent.
Maybe. I do like things to be done the way I want them to be done.
That reminds me of me, where I'm like, no, I'm not. And then people are like, no, but you said the X, Y, and Z and stuff. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I did. Yeah, that was me.
It's funny because in an ideal world, everyone would do everything the way I want them to do it without having to ask me. That's actually what I want.
How are they supposed to know?
Well, they do. At the minute, they do in my business. That's one thing that I am really, really happy about and proactive with. So I think there's three things that make the business run. Like we were talking on messages about my childcare situation.
Yes, yeah.
So I only have 2 days a week childcare, and I'm running this business. It's two businesses really. Now, because we have the Beat Bar in Glenarm.
Yes.
Which is kind of the same thing, but kind of a separate thing. And the team obviously are amazing. That's the first thing that makes everything run so well. The second thing is kind of support that I have from other professionals. So I have an ads coach. So I've got her support.
I discovered I know Neve.
She's
lovely. Yeah.
So I've got that support there, and I have someone who does help with my email marketing. So I do all the campaign side of things.
Okay.
So 2 to 3 times a week we're sending out a campaign. But the back end, all the A/B testing, forms that come up, pop-ups and flows, you know, we haven't heard from you in a while. Would you like a discount and all that kind of stuff? She handles all that stuff.
I think I get all those.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah.
I don't do those. But yeah, that kind of support is just, it's worth its weight in gold. If it's the right person and they're doing a good job, it doesn't matter how much it costs, because it's
100%.
It's bringing the money back in.
Yeah.
And then the third thing is kind of processes and systems. This is what I mean by, I tell the team, I'm scared to admit this, like, just please don't message me. Like, unless there's an emergency, don't message me.
Yeah, but why should I think that's great.
Because
like, set some boundaries.
Got a life, and you've got a life, and I want to be with my kids. Like, I was with Casey at Streamvale Farm yesterday. I don't want to be helping with every single little thing that goes on in the business. I'm empowering them to do a good job.
Well, and here's the thing as well.
They're good at it.
Yeah,
so,
but you're also employing people. So, like, if you could do it, like, if you're helping them, like, why don't you just do it?
Yeah.
I feel like this sometimes. It's like, oh, well, I want to be the best version of myself, but I feel sometimes I want to be supportive and as supportive as possible.
Yeah.
But then I find, I'm not giving you the space to grow.
Yeah.
So it's like a fine balance of like sitting somewhere in between. But I really love that. And I get what you mean about it almost feels awkward to like admit it.
Yeah.
But I think setting boundaries, and you've done your time.
Yeah. And also I'm not just saying don't message me, work out yourself.
Of course,
it's not like that at all. So the thing I was going to say was not last year, or not this year. The years just fly by.
They do.
Sometime in the last, I think about 18 months, I started working with, I think what she really is it factional or fractional COO?
Okay.
So basically her business is sorting out other people's businesses.
Okay.
She's called Hannah. Her Instagram is Bored of Busy. She's not from Northern Ireland.
Okay.
But she basically got the business out of my head, helped me get the business out of my head and into a piece of software called Asana, which is kind of like Trello or... Yes, it's really, really amazing. So everything that used to be in my head is in there now. All the answers are there. You don't need to ask me. Obviously, when we're doing
Erinn
things
just
together,
doesn't want to talk to people. It's just like, do not speak to me.
But I talk to them about, we're in the group chat just talking about the stuff to do with being a mum or like, life. But, I just want them to know where to find the information, and they do, and it's great.
That's brilliant.
And when there's a problem or if someone has a question, I'm always thinking, okay, how can we set this system or process up so that is never something that they don't know how to deal with again? And we've just done that over the course of a year. Everything is in there that I expect them to do. Obviously, all the stuff to do with meta ads and all the stuff to do with the email marketing that I do and all the socials and everything, that's on me, and I have to do all that. Early on, I think I was sort of had the realization, it's my job to bring the sales in, and then it's their job to deal with that, to
You're on my level,
make them
I like that.
Get them out.
That's how I feel. Although I really like the thought of that system structure and getting it. I say this to Erinn actually all the time about if you could like plug your brain in,
download
to someone else, like from visual point of views or systems and thoughts,
it's amazing.
processes.
Honestly, it has changed my life. I love it so much. And
that's class. There's a top tip.
So
in terms of like big moments or investments, that sounds like a big one to get that.
Yeah, but it wasn't really that. I don't think it was that expensive because what it's given me is amazing. So
when you think of it, why do we do all this stuff? Like we do it, or certainly I do it. I'll speak for myself here, to give myself options, and a lot of those options are to spend time with my family. So why would I then be constantly tied to my work and bottleneck things because I have to do it?
Well, as well, I think you've got to live the life that is close to the values that you hold, and not everyone has the same values or goals. And my goal is not to, it's not a typical kind of business situation where I want to exit in however many years or make millions or whatever. I just value my kids and my freedom and not having to drive to Belfast every day. And I love that. Honestly, my husband just laughs at me constantly. He's just like, you forgot what it's like to work for someone. Because I'll say to him, like, can we not just go to the caravan this summer? Everybody's like, no, like, I have a job. I have a job too, a part-time job.
Like, do you find that difficult? So I found this a lot over the years, and I actually discovered that it was probably my own kind of thought process that I needed to get up to speed. That Jenny, my wife, she would say like, if something comes up with the kids, it's more like, oh, can you get them, or can you do this? I was like, hold, I have a job. Like, I can't just, she's a doctor. She's like, she can't physically.
Oh, no, I do.
leave.
I get that.
And I used to get my back up thinking, like, this is what I do is important.
It's
like,
important too. Yeah.
And
I know.
it was like, oh, no, I'm not saying it's not. It's just you have the flexibility.
Yeah.
But I used to
flexibility
take this.
can be a bit of a curse, I think, in
it
family.
Can, but it's
life.
For me, it was a mindset flip to try and be like, actually, it's a privilege for me.
Yeah.
Like, I have built this a certain way that I do have flexibility.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's not important, obviously. But,
and that's, I drop Ivy to school every day, and I pick her up most days, and Casey's in a childminder 2 days a week, and I don't know, that's honestly what it was all for. And then if I had got caught up a few years back and started living away from what my actual values and goals were and built too quickly, and that would have taken away what I actually want, and then I'd have been living in someone else's dream life. It's not my dream. This is my dream life. This is amazing. And the fact that I can give jobs to other women primarily, who also want that kind of flexibility. It's amazing. I love it, and I'm incredibly proud of being able to do that with them and for them. Love it. I just love it.
Well, you can see your passion for it. Like, I think it's truly inspiring. And as you say, I think there's it can be like this narrative of like hustle culture with like business and entrepreneurship that like, right, that's cool, you have that, but you like, I'm pretty sure I have it noted down to ask you like future plans and stuff. But it's like, oh, you scaling? Are you going to exit? What are you going to do? And it doesn't always have to be like that.
No,
like,
and I have found, so my yoga teacher read out a quote at the end of a class at the start of the year, and she said, if trying harder hasn't worked, try going softer. You know, I haven't pushed any of this or been aggressive in any way in business, and I'm really glad with how everything has turned out.
Yeah.
I think I've still achieved a lot for someone who's not really pushing it to its limit. So
is there a part of you then that thinks like, what if I did push it to the limit? Where could we go?
Sometimes. So I definitely still have a level of frustration and friction between, you know, being super ambitious and living this life, you know, but you can't have it all. You can't. And ultimately it's always, my kids are always going to come first. And that's just the bottom line. And I think with Ivy's cystic fibrosis, like I don't know, sort of like what we were saying at the start about the BBC and everything all happening at the same time. I don't know what kind of mum I would have been if she hadn't got that diagnosis. Yeah. There's no way for me to tell. I can't go into a crystal ball and see, you know, if I wasn't dealing with that, would I have been stricter, less like attached or whatever? Because I remember for the first 2 weeks of her life just being like, just sleep. And she wouldn't sleep, but she was sick. She was unmedicated. And when we got the news, then I remember going in and looking at her, and she had been awake all night. And I remember just looking at her and being like, you can keep me awake for the rest of your life if you need to. Just please be okay. Yeah. And so that's just how it's been ever since. Like me just making sure that she's okay.
Yeah. That's your primary role, isn't it? No, it's fine.
So yeah, that is my primary role. And the fact that I get to make good money and employ other people and do something that I love, like it's the dream. Like
it's almost like the bonus.
Yeah.
Whereas it's being there for her and your son
and
as
not
well.
being on benefits.
Yeah, obviously. So I mean, you've touched on it there. So going back, this was when was she born? 2020.
2019, September 2019.
September 2019, and it was cystic fibrosis. Mm-hmm. Is that? Were you aware is that something you find out after birth, or how?
Well, we now know that me and my husband and I are carriers of cystic fibrosis, but we didn't know that before we had her, and it wasn't picked up on any scans or anything like that. So it was just the heel prick test at 2 weeks old. You know, the one that the babies get.
Nice. Yeah.
And the diagnosis came in the form of a phone call over the phone from a consultant on the day that Russell went back to work. So he was at work and I was at home on my own. Okay. And the health visitor came round and rang and said, can we come round? And you know at the start when you have a baby, the health visitor's there all the time. And I was just like, can we just not? Like, do you have to come round? And they were like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's not good. So yeah, then got the phone call. She just gave me the phone. And the consultant told me that, I think she said she probably had it. But I don't really remember anything from the phone call, but her saying something like, don't worry, she'll still go to a normal school. And me just being like, I don't even know what this thing is.
What does that mean? Yeah.
And then obviously ringing Russell and getting him to come home and everything. So yeah, that kind of led me then down a path of like health anxiety about her, which I don't even know if you could call it health anxiety if it's actually founded in, you know, it wasn't just anxiety about nothing. I had been told like, don't go to the breastfeeding groups, don't go to baby massage, don't let her get sick. Yeah. Like, quote, that's huge responsibility to put on a new mum.
Excuse my ignorance, it's like an immune disease?
No, it's not. So it's a degenerative condition that affects everything in the body, but what it's most known for is the lungs and digestive system.
Okay.
So it was just really important that she didn't get even like a cold, because it could just make her really sick. But like everything's so much better now than it was then. Obviously she's at school and everything, like she gets the cold and stuff, but there are better medications and things available now than there were when she was born. So anyway, then when she was like 5 months old, so I started making bracelets like the month before COVID really started to be a thing. But I was just generally anxious and started doing that and found it really therapeutic and stuff. And then deadly respiratory virus sweeps the world. Like you literally could, it was like writing a horror movie. Like honestly. It was awful. It's like, here's your baby. She's, protect her respiratory system. Don't let her get the cold or the flu. Stay away from anyone who's sick. And then just all of a sudden, people are dying everywhere from this respiratory thing. Literally don't leave the house.
Yeah.
See no one, do nothing. And thankfully I'd already started making bracelets, and then I used that, and then I used the community through Instagram and everything to like basically connect me to other mums in the outside world. And it was a really good tool to just see me through like a really hard time.
Yeah.
But then by the time, like right from the start, it was so busy. And I had to shut the website down several times during COVID because I couldn't cope with the demand. And then, by the time it was time to go back to work, then that's when I had the 1 year career break. And then just, it was obvious that it would be silly to not do it.
Yeah.
It was easier for me to make the same amount of money that I was making at the BBC than to go back and put her at risk. And, even if for any mum, it's hard to go back to work after maternity leave.
Yeah.
So I had an opportunity not to, and I took it.
It's great that sort of aligned then, that it was like maybe a natural path that you could have went down at a time of massive uncertainty.
Yeah.
I'm sitting thinking of the uncertainty I felt at that time, never mind being a new parent and having that diagnosis as well. So like, it's the resilience of you, like it's really, inspiring.
Thanks.
And how is Ivy today?
Yeah, she's really good. So
brilliant.
When she was born, the world of cystic fibrosis was different to what it is now. There are genetic modulators, basically, is what they're called. They're just miracle drugs that she's been on since she was 4. Mm-hmm. Which keep her really well.
Absolutely.
But her, she still has daily treatments and physios and lots of hospital appointments and things that we still have to support her through.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's an amazing outcome for what we were afraid of.
And is she like aware of things, or is she just like this is
what do you mean?
As in, like, is she aware that there these hospital visits, like other kids aren't going to the hospital and things? Or
only recently she started to sort of ask questions about it, and she wishes she didn't have CF and whatnot, which is really sad.
Yeah.
And that's like another thing that kind of struggle with Ivy and Gold, because like I do sometimes think I maybe shouldn't have told the world that she has that. Maybe she won't want me to have done that, which I think is fair. But I've always tried to, I've never posted like her in hospital, her doing her treatments. I've done her like from the back going to the Royal, not, nothing where she's in an environment where you would expect privacy, and I haven't talked about her medications or, haven't gone into any of the detail of her health online. That's her business. I've only ever talked about it as my perspective as a mum when she was first diagnosed, and I hope that she won't hold it against me.
Look, I can only imagine that that's partly an outlet for you, but also I'm sure you've probably engaged with other families going through similar experiences, and that can be helpful, and also spreading awareness of these things, so from that perspective, it's a tough balance with kids.
It is tough. And again, you don't know what you don't know. And I think especially when you're a first time parent, maybe I would have handled it differently if Ivy hadn't been my first child. But you're not even really a parent when you first get given the baby. You're just you, but you've been given a baby.
I will never forget that first night, just being back home with Amelia, and both our mums had come round to see her. So she was July 21, so it was still kind of COVID-y, like masks and stuff. And I remember the two mums leaving and us just being left with this wee baby. And I was like, what? Like, we're supposed, it was, I've never felt so as an adult, like, I just want my mum to stay to like tell me what to do, like what is going on. But then before we know it, Amelia's turning 5 in the summer, and with Izzy, who's 2 and a bit, and she's a complete rocket. So, but yeah, it's like it's the most beautiful thing at the same time. So, wouldn't change it for the world.
Not at all.
Despite the hard times at moments. But we touched on childcare. Tough area. Like it's balance, as I sort of mentioned to you, like doing this podcast and built around high agency parents. I don't think I took on board like how difficult it would be to pin down people at times, with childcare, businesses, jobs, traveling, all sorts of things. So I really appreciate your time. I appreciate anybody's time that comes down.
Russell's off today, so it's his time basically.
You can intertwine with it, but it's a difficult area. Like I know with our girls, like we had them in one day a week, and we're probably fortunate that both of our mums can help out. So they take a day. Again, I've built some flexibility that I take a day off during the week, so that's helpful. What does a general working week look like for you?
So I hate to say like I'm off because obviously I'm always thinking about work and
always on.
I'm always on, but I also really try not to be too. I don't endorse that lifestyle, or the attitude, and it's not for me. But yeah, so Monday off. Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm in the office till 5, and Casey's in the childminder, and Russell's mum picks Ivy up from school on a Tuesday, and Russell picks Ivy up on a Wednesday because he works from home on a Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday off again with Casey. All those days that I'm off, I'm also looking after Casey because he's at home with me.
Off,
and then most weekends I'm working on a Saturday doing something or other. We have a very big event side of the business.
Yeah, talk to me about that. I was going to ask you about it. So is this like the bead bar, and then we've got
just going out to hen parties and stuff. Like we are very in demand for hen parties, and it's interesting because it's not something again that I've spent much time promoting or trying to push. But like for example, when Casey was just a couple of months old, well, would have been 3 months old, I did 3 hen parties on the North Coast back to back, and Russell drove, and I was breastfeeding, and Russell drove and met me in car parks throughout the day for me to feed Casey, and then so like 3 in a day.
Just working mum life right there.
Working mum life, but like I wouldn't swap it for having to go somewhere else where I couldn't just be like
to travel to Belfast. No, that's the no.
Not doing that
again. I feel very privileged to travel to Belfast today.
We're from there.
What, you travelled?
Oh yeah,
today?
I thought you meant you. Yeah.
I'm not travelling far. I'm coming.
It's okay when it's not in the rush hour traffic
or the rain.
Yeah, it's very nice. So most of the time I have to work on a Saturday. So tomorrow I'm doing we have to do permanent jewellery once a month. So I'm doing that tomorrow. And if I wasn't doing that, I would either be in the bead bar or doing a hen party or something.
So where's the permanent jewellery?
It's in Brisbane. Yeah. So I have studio in Brisbane, which is sort of part. It was never, again, when I took the space on, I never thought it was going to be a shop.
Yes.
It was just somewhere for me and Alice to work that wasn't in my house.
Yeah.
Because we were just working in my house before. And we were doing a lot of orders, so we needed a packing table and we needed a place to put all the packaging and all this stuff. And by the way, if anyone's listening to this and thinking about starting a business with very small products is very good. Like my products are so small. For storage. And like when we're going to markets and things, it all just fits in my car.
Class.
And we're not paying big warehouse fees and whatever.
You don't get that with a mobile bar business, by anybody. No.
and a product that doesn't die or go out of date.
Yes.
Which is nice too.
Right.
So I just
Note
buy
to
lots
self,
of beads
start a
and
jewellery brand.
we will sell them. So I can't remember what the question was now. When we moved into Brasheen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry,
yes,
the
unit.
The locations.
Yeah.
So Brasheen is a lot of click and collect for the people of Ballymena.
Yeah.
A lot of people just coming in needing a last minute gift that is really thoughtful and personalised and not from Amazon or wherever people get their gifts. And then we create all the bracelets that have been ordered online and ship them from there. And the post office is just across the road. So we literally just carry our bag of post over to the post office.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully they like us, because I think it's one of those post offices that they get paid the more work they do, basically.
Okay,
so they've got us across the road.
Then they'll love you.
Hopefully, yeah. I think sometimes they're like, oh, you again. It's your bag of post. And then Glenarm, I only sort of thought about doing that this time last year.
And that's the bead bar, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also a shop too, so that you can come in and buy stuff, and we'll make you personalised bracelets on the day, or you can buy things that are ready made. But that kind of just came up, and I just thought about it for about a weekend and then decided to do it. But renovating that building was honestly nearly sent me over the edge.
I thought you were risk adverse.
Yeah, I am. Believe it or not, I am.
But you do have to grow. You have to keep.
You have to grow, but
forward.
There were enough factors about that made me feel safe. So it's on a private estate, so there's no what's it called? Rates.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So and any money that I have invested in that building is coming off my rent.
Okay.
So it's kind of they wanted me to invest in it and everything. So it's all working out. You know, there were enough things there that made me think, yeah, okay, it's not so much of a risk.
Yeah.
And because we've been doing the hen parties and everything for years already, and I knew it worked, and I knew people were happy to pay for it, and I knew people enjoyed it, and I knew there was a demand for it, and we're only really just getting started.
We need to do some collaborations here. We've got nightcap hen parties. We can come and do cocktails, make some beads, and then also get you down to the restaurant. That'll be a good night in Fox's. Because we've always talked about doing like flower arranging and that sort of stuff. Never actually done anything, but it'd be good. Let's hook it up. Let's do it. So, did you have a hen party this weekend?
I'm not doing one this weekend because I'm doing the bond, the permanent jewellery, but someone else is.
Very good.
So,
it's the way to do it.
There's just always something going on. So, the day that the Six Nations was ending, so that was Super Saturday. That was our Super Saturday as well. So, we had Cohen & Co Market on. We had the bead bar, which was fully booked. We had a party in Brasheen, and we also had a hen party somewhere else. I don't even know where it was. And Rip was out doing that. And that's like a typical kind of Saturday.
Brilliant.
For us.
Long may it continue.
Yeah.
We've got summer holidays coming up. What does that look like for you? Does that
childcare wise?
Well, both I suppose, like business is at a busy period of time, and also
it's busy for hen parties, and I think the bead bar is going to be the most busy during the school holidays. It's been busiest, when the kids are off school, so weekends and the Easter holidays and whatnot. So I think that, and the summer holidays in Glenarm Castle, it's big season.
Yeah.
So there will be the most footfall down there at that stage. So I think that'll be when that's busiest, and then hen parties and things are very busy from April through to like July. And then the other side of it is like Q4. That's the one time that I will put my hands up and say I don't live to all of the things that I've just said, basically.
Yeah, well, there's different seasons.
It gets very busy. Brutally. And I just have to beg, borrow and steal for people to look after my children.
Yeah.
Because
do what you gotta
you
do.
just have to grind at that time of the year. Because if you're not doing a huge proportion of your revenue at that time of the year, then it's not going to sustain the whole rest of the year.
We're very like that with certainly the events business and nightcap, that it's this quarter is we'll basically do like over 2/3 of our revenue in 3 months.
Yeah, and you just have to do it.
Yeah, it's just that busy period, and then that sort of Christmas quarter will be busy as well. But it's like make hay while the sun shines. That then gets you through the other periods of time. So you just have to get on with it. That's what I tell the team anyway. In terms of I touched on kind of future plans. Is there any plans in the works for any other sites or?
No. None of what we've done so far has been planned in any way, shape, or form. And I'm serious. Nothing. It's just all on vibes and hope, basically.
Not business plans, just vibes.
I don't really know what else I don't know. If the bead bar is a huge success, I mean, I could potentially open another one in Belfast or Portrush or something, but then there's the rates and,
I know.
You know,
There's
you just have to be so sure that you're not going to shoot yourself. Well, for me, that my attitude anyway is I don't want to damage what I've got by growing more, trying to grow more.
Like everything's a risk. Like us with the restaurant and stuff, I've spoke to lots of different people. I had Gary McEldowney on here from Slim's a few weeks ago, and he was saying about having multiple venues isn't always the best thing.
No.
You know, sometimes if you can drive all your focus and energy into one place, then it can be more profitable than having multiple places. You never know. But
I wait till something's so obviously the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, we'll do that. But yeah, no, I don't really have a plan at all for the future.
And presumably then your brand has been very online driven. That's how people have got the product until...
Well, we got the shop really early on, the one in Brisbane, probably like 18 months after I started, maybe 2 years. And I was so surprised by how many people came out to it. I think there just is that need for particularly gifts. I think people usually, that's what they're coming into the shop for. Like a last minute gift that doesn't look like a last minute gift, basically. And I sort of came up with this thing when I was getting my hair washed in the hairdressers, not today, another day, which is the 3 words that I think Ivy and Gold can be summed up by, and it's comfort, connection, and celebration. And I don't think there's ever been a customer that has come across us that didn't fall into one of those categories. I've done a lot of work with women who've lost babies or grieving, and that's the kind of comfort element, celebration, graduation, birthdays, blah blah, and connection, which is probably the most important thing, is like me having these bracelets on every day with their initials on, and I'm sure it's the same for the bracelet that you had. That
you need to replace it.
I'm sure one of your kids made that for you.
Yeah,
did they? Yeah. And it's basically just a fancy version of that.
Yeah.
And I love it. And
I'm not bold enough yet to get a tattoo, so that'll be the next step at some stage, maybe. Don't know if it's suited.
I saw a really cool thing, but it doesn't really look that nice. But it was like you got the kids to do a little dot on their hand,
and they hold
but then I was like, I don't really like how it looks, even though it's nice and
nice
sentimental.
It,
But it's this is definitely a solution.
Do you do the bracelets like for kids, like almost like matching sets or anything? Yeah, because that's nice. Yeah. I'm going to spend a fortune. Really.
Yeah, I think the kids ones are less popular because they're still not expensive, but they're still 30-40 pound, and a lot of the time people don't want to spend that on a piece of jewellery that like a kid's probably going to break. But they are available, and then we also have kind of cheaper options that aren't like the gold and silver ones. But yeah, it's basically just mums buying for themselves or buying for their friends as presents, and that's what keeps us afloat. And it's all Northern Ireland. Honestly, I still at Christmas time I'm putting the labels on the boxes, and it's just all Northern Irish addresses, and I just think, how does everyone not have one of these yet? Like everyone must. It's not a big place.
They're doubling up.
They're doubling up.
That's what Jenny said to me, because she's like, oh, actually I want a set or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know if there's a name for that, having a few of them.
There are a few, yeah.
But she was like, no, I need multiple.
Yeah. And there's so much opportunity in the south and in England and Scotland and Wales that I haven't reached for. There are lots of things I know I could do. And the question you asked about, do I still, do I want to do these things, and can't that kind of, sometimes when I'm coming up to something like the Christmas launch or whatever, I do get a bit, almost feel bad that Ivy and Gold is in my hands and not in the hands of someone who could really go for it,
But then it wouldn't be where it is and
I know.
what it's thought of.
It would just be different.
People buy from people.
Yeah.
Who knows? That could be a thing in the future if you did, bring someone on board to accelerate in a direction. Like I don't know, and then you still maintain your lifestyle and values that you look for. I think that's the beautiful thing. Like with entrepreneurship, like don't get me wrong, it is really hard. It is really, really hard. But you also have so many opportunities. And I know certainly from my own perspective, sometimes I wish someone would just come in and be like, go that road. That's the road to go.
But choices it's so good to have choices.
Yes.
And to be able to make those choices, it's nice to ask people for advice and everything, but ultimately it's down to you. And I think that's a really great thing about Ivy and Gold too, is I have no investors or it's literally just me and I answer to me. And if I decide I want to open a bead bar, which is basically a summer house for my brand, I can do it.
Sounds good to you.
So,
Full voting rights?
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to do a few quick-fire questions.
Okay.
All right. You ready? Mm-hmm. Favorite Ivy and Gold piece?
Just the personalised gold bracelet.
If
someone took away all my bracelets and said you can only keep, that would be these. Would
it be the white or the black?
I don't know, because I love the girl one in white and the boy one in black, if you've got a girl and a boy. And then I wore the Casey bracelet in labour whenever I was having him.
Oh, wow.
Because I felt that helped me. Like I had his name and I had the little Polaroid of Ivy when she was like a brand new baby.
Yeah.
I was looking at that being like, okay, this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
And having his name, like we went through a lot to have him because of Ivy cystic fibrosis. We had to go through IVF with pre-genetic testing and stuff so that we didn't pass that on again. And it was a really long, hard, difficult road, but that's for another podcast. And then I had hyperemesis and everything, and I wore this throughout labour. And as soon as he was born, even making it, even when I got to finally make this bracelet with another kid's name on it that I'd wanted so desperately, like it was amazing.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And is that the OG one? Like you haven't? That's
the yeah. And the beads are amazing. Like they're American. It's called Gold Filled, and water, everything. They're cheaper than full gold, but they're way better than gold plating or anything like that. So they're exactly the same. We've never had a gold bead tarnish at all.
Lovely.
In 6 years.
Very good. Most meaningful order or story that you've received from a customer? If there's any, see, I quite like keeping the quick fire. Just like
there are so many. I couldn't honestly think of someone off the top of my head, but really, honestly, there are so many people who message us with their stories, and honestly, I'm so grateful for people sharing that with me, but also the fact that I have invented something or have put something on the market that can comfort people. And even for 5 minutes of that horrible day is amazing. And I love that so much.
It is. No, it's class. It really is. It might be the same product, but is there a product you think everyone should own of yours?
Just the personalised bracelet. Or the birthstone bracelet, which is now sort of last October, November. Alice was going on at me about the birthstone bracelets for years, and it's like, I don't know, it's a lot of work launching a new product. It is a lot of work. But then we did it and everyone loves them. So yeah, if you're not into letters, because some people aren't into the letter beads, but the birthstone bracelet is a good alternative.
Nice. What is the best £100 you've ever spent on your business?
Just whatever Alice's first £100 of work was.
Her wage, her first £100 wage.
Just having people with me.
Yeah.
And taking that leap.
Yeah.
To pay out that first £100 to someone else.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think like sharing the journey as well with someone. Like I have a business partner, so we've kind of shared our journey. But bringing people with you, it's great to look back on and then see where you're going in the future as well. And finally, coffee morning or chaos with the kids?
As in, do I have my coffee in the morning?
No, as in, like, would you rather go for a coffee morning or to have chaos with the kids?
Go for a coffee morning.
I thought that was going to be the kids.
No, I have enough chaos with the kids constantly. I thought you were asking me how quickly in the morning I have my coffee, and it's as soon as I open my eyes, like straight to the coffee machine.
I drank mine really quickly this morning because they're just clambering all over me, and I'm like, if I don't drink this, someone's going to get scolded.
I bring it back to bed, and then they take turns hugging me and fighting while I drink the coffee. And
in between,
in my head, all the Instagram ads about how you shouldn't drink coffee on an empty stomach just play over and over, and I'm like, take it from my fingers.
I know, and there was that whole thing as well about trying to wait like 90 minutes before having caffeine, but I do find it difficult. So
it gets me out of bed in the morning, and that's so sad.
I do. I look forward to my coffee the night before.
Yeah,
can't wait. Okay, the signature final question. If your kids were to listen back to this in 10, 15 years, what would you want them to understand about who their mum is in this season of her life?
Just that I am doing my best with the situation that I have. And I don't mean Ivy or her diagnosis or anything. I don't ever want her to think that this was all some sacrifice for her or whatever. It's not like that. It's just motherhood and working and the juggle of it all and family life and, you know, all the different things that have happened that have changed my life 6 years ago. Just that I'm doing my best and I'm working really hard to be there for as much of their childhood and to give them a nice, stable, safe, fun childhood. And that's so important to me, like really important.
Beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself. Love that. Where can we find you? What's Instagram handles? Where can people buy the lovely products?
Ivy and Gold UK. Someone is sitting on Ivy and Gold, the Instagram handle, and they've got like 20 followers, and I can't message them and get them to leave. So it's Ivy and Gold UK. I don't think she's even.
Erinn will give you a few bracelets
on Instagram.
Get you away.
Really. And ivygold.co.uk is the website.
Brilliant.
It's a Bombay Bicycle Club song, if anybody cares.
Oh, is it?
Ivy and Gold.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Didn't know that. Fact.
It was nearly called some terrible things. Like, I'm not even sharing any of them. But
you're the brand?
Yeah, you know when you're first starting out, what am I going to call this?
Yeah.
You brainstorm. I'm like, thank goodness I went for Ivy and Gold.
No, it's beautiful. And as I said to you before, I've been aware of the brand. I've seen the brand, and I think it's really strong and solid. So
thank you.
Congratulations on everything you've done, and all the best for the future. Thank you very much for coming down today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and giving me an excuse to get a blow dry.
We'll get out and enjoy some sunshine now. Thank you.